What if the thing standing between you and real peace of mind has nothing to do with willpower and everything to do with how much of yourself you're leaking out into the world every single day? You speak in moments that call for restraint. You react when the wiser move would be to step back and think. You spread your attention thin across a dozen things that will mean nothing by next week, while the one thing that could actually reshape your life sits untouched, patiently waiting for you to finally pay it some attention. The Stoics understood this centuries before burnout and overstimulation were even words. They practiced a discipline that wasn't dramatic, wasn't loud, and would never trend online, but it quietly divided the people who drift through their days from the people who command them. Today, you're going to learn that discipline. It isn't what most people expect, and once you understand it, you won't be able to look at your own habits the same way again, because the shift, once it starts, moves faster than you'd think. If you're finished letting the world yank your attention in 10 directions at once, type "I choose stillness" in the comments before we go any further. Let's get into it. Let's not sugarcoat it. You open your eyes in the morning, and before your feet even touch the ground, your hand is already reaching for your phone. A flood of messages, headlines, notifications, someone's hot take on a subject that has nothing to do with your life, a fresh crisis you have zero power to fix, another voice shouting for a slice of your attention. You scroll, you respond, you absorb all of it, and somewhere in that blur, the first hour of your day has already been spent, not on your life, but on everyone else's noise. Then work starts, and the interruptions don't stop. A meeting that should have been a 2-line message, a coworker unloading their frustrations about office drama, your phone buzzing every few minutes, yanking your mind out of whatever thread it was trying to follow. You're working, technically, but you're always behind, always catching up, occupied but not accomplishing much, in motion but not actually going anywhere. And then there's the talking. You describe your plans out loud before you've made a single move toward them. You vent your problems to people who have no ability to solve them. You argue your case to critics who are never going to be won over anyway. You explain yourself. You justify yourself. You narrate your life for an audience, chasing approval, chasing reassurance, chasing some outside voice to confirm that you're headed the right way. Here's the part nobody tells you. Every word spoken too soon costs you something. Every explanation handed to someone who didn't need it drains your drive. Every time you check in on what other people think before you've settled what you think, you're handing away a piece of your own authority. You end up living reactively, responding to your life instead of steering it. And somewhere underneath all the noise, you already sense it. You feel the pieces of yourself scattering. You know that despite how hard you're trying, you're not moving with the kind of clear-headed control you once pictured for yourself. The Stoics had a term for this condition, living from the outside in. It's what happens when you let events, other people's judgments, and the general noise of the world dictate your inner state. It's the exact opposite of self-command, the opposite of real freedom. Marcus Aurelius, arguably the most powerful man alive during his lifetime, wrote himself a private reminder that has survived thousands of years. Your mind is yours to command. The world outside it is not. See this clearly, and you'll find your strength. He wasn't writing that because he'd mastered it. He was writing it because even an emperor could slip into reacting, into craving approval, into forgetting where his real power was kept. Most people never break free of this pattern. They spend their whole lives responding instead of directing. They let outside events dictate their schedule and their mood. They talk more than they think. They chase applause from people who'll forget them by tomorrow morning. They pursue ambitions that were never really theirs, just borrowed from someone else's opinion of what mattered. And here's the part that stings. They had it in them the whole time. The intellect, the potential, the hours in the day, all of it was available. But it never got focused, never got aimed. They never once turned their attention inward and asked the only questions that actually count. What do I want? What is mine to control? What can I do right now with what's in front of me? Instead, they talk, they announce, they react. They scatter their energy in every direction but the one that matters, and the years pass. If you've made it this far, it's because part of you is done with that pattern. You're tired of the noise, worn out from performing, finished spending your energy on things that don't build you up. You want your time back, your focus back, yourself back. And the good news? You don't need anyone's permission. You don't need a flawless plan. You don't need to wait for some ideal moment. You need to understand one single principle. The habit that changes everything isn't flashy. It isn't dramatic. It doesn't need to be announced, posted, or explained to anyone. It's the opposite of all of that. It's quiet. It's internal. Nobody sees it happening but you. And it begins the second you decide to do two things. Turn your focus inward and stop speaking before it's necessary. Let's break this down because it's simple to describe, just not simple to live. Turning inward means putting your attention only on what's genuinely yours to control. Your thoughts, your actions, how you respond, the effort you put in, not the outcome. Not what other people think of you, not the economy, the algorithm, your competitors, or your critics. Just you. Staying silent means resisting the pull to speak too soon, to broadcast your intentions, to fish for approval, to fire back the moment you're provoked. It means holding your energy close until the right moment arrives, until the work has actually been done, until speaking serves something beyond your own ego. This isn't about becoming a hermit. It's not a call to stop communicating or working with others. It's about being deliberate with your words and disciplined with your focus. The Stoics didn't just talk about this, they lived it. Epictetus, who spent part of his life enslaved, taught that it's never the event itself that troubles a person, but their judgment about the event. That wasn't abstract philosophy for him, it was survival. He didn't broadcast his suffering. He turned his attention to the one thing chains couldn't touch, his mind, and he kept quiet about the rest. Seneca, who advised emperors, wrote that the best cure for anger is time. When something sets you off, an insult, sudden chaos, a provocation, the move is to pause. Stay quiet. Let the moment pass through you rather than letting it hijack you. That pause, that silence, is where your real strength is stored. Marcus Aurelius, governing an empire while fighting wars on its borders, kept telling himself the same thing. Stay anchored to the present. Don't relive the past. Don't spiral into the future. Don't waste energy guessing what other people are thinking of you. Just this moment and the one action available to you inside it. This is the actual practice, and it's genuinely difficult because nearly everything about modern life pulls you the opposite direction. Social platforms reward constant talking, constant announcing, performing your life for an audience. The culture worships being busy, being reachable, being available around the clock. You're expected to answer instantly, to stay switched on, to never miss a ping. But here's what nobody tells you. Every instant reaction weakens your ability to respond with any real thought behind it. Every premature announcement waters down your own intentions. Every time you go looking for outside validation before you've settled things internally, you're training yourself to depend on other people to tell you your own worth. Focusing inward and staying quiet is the direct antidote to all of it. In practice, it looks like this. You wake up and instead of grabbing your phone, you sit in silence for 5 minutes. No input, no output, just you and your own thoughts. You ask yourself what actually matters today. What's within your control? What single thing you can move forward before the day swallows you? Someone criticizes your idea at work. You don't leap to defend it. You pause. You weigh whether there's truth in what they said. If there is, you absorb it. If there isn't, you release it. Either way, you don't burn energy justifying yourself to someone who was never going to understand anyway. You feel the urge to post about your new project, your new goal, your new habit. You resist. You stay quiet and let the results speak later. You build in private because you understand that announcing something too early often bleeds off the exact drive you need to actually finish it. Chaos breaks out around you. Bad news, drama, conflict. You don't react. You observe. You breathe. You remind yourself, this is outside my control. What is within my control? And you put your attention only there. None of this is passivity. This is where power actually lives. Zeno of Citium, who founded Stoicism, put it simply, we were given 2 ears and 1 mouth, so we should listen twice as much as we speak. He wasn't being poetic. He was handing down a ratio. Listen more than you talk. Observe more than you react. Take in more than you put out. Why? Because silence opens up space for clarity, for insight, for actual strategy. When you're constantly talking, you're not thinking. When you're constantly reacting, you're not observing. When you're constantly chasing approval, you're not building anything real. But when you turn inward and stay quiet, something changes. You begin to notice patterns you were blind to before. You catch the signal buried under the noise. You start telling the difference between what genuinely matters and what's simply loud. You become aware of your own habits, your own blind spots, and from that awareness, you can finally act with precision. You stop pouring time into things that don't move you forward. You stop engaging with people who drain you. You stop defending positions nobody was actually attacking. You stop announcing plans before they're ready to be announced. You simplify. You focus. You execute. And here's the paradox in all of it. The less you say, the more your words are worth when you finally say them. The less you react, the more deliberate your actions become. The less you chase approval, the more genuine confidence you feel. The world respects restraint. It respects people who don't feel compelled to explain every move, perform for an audience, or seek constant reassurance. But more than that, you start respecting yourself because you know you're living by your own standard, not the crowd's. You're moving in the direction you chose, not the direction everyone else happens to be drifting. This is the core of Stoic discipline. It was never about deprivation. It's about direction, saying no to what's trivial so you can say yes to what's essential. As Epictetus put it, first understand what you're about to say, and only then say it. Think before you speak. Reflect before you react. Know yourself before you try to explain yourself to anyone else. This single habit, turning inward, staying quiet, is the foundation everything else is built on. It's the root of discipline, clarity, and self-command. Without it, you're constantly knocked around by whatever's happening outside you. With it, you become someone who can't easily be shaken. I won't pretend it's comfortable at first. You'll feel the pull to speak, to react, to explain, to defend, to announce. Those urges run deep. They're wired into you by years of social conditioning. But every time you resist one, you get stronger. Every time you choose quiet over reaction, you take back a piece of your own power. Every time you look inward instead of outward, you sharpen your ability to actually run your own life. Over time, it stops feeling like effort. It becomes automatic. It becomes who you are. You become someone who doesn't need to announce their plans because they're too busy carrying them out. Someone who doesn't need to defend their decisions because they already trust them. Someone who doesn't chase constant reassurance because their own actions provide it. This is what the Stoics meant by living with virtue, not moral perfection, alignment. Your actions matching your values, your words matching your intentions, your life matching the vision you actually hold for it. And it all starts with this one habit. So what does it actually look like once you commit to this? You wake up with clarity because you spent time thinking about your day instead of just reacting to it the moment it started. You're not scattered. You're not anxious. You're grounded. Your mornings belong to you, not to anyone else's agenda, not to a wall of incoming information. Just you, your own thoughts, and a plan. You move through your day with intention instead of urgency. At work, you're no longer being pulled in 10 directions. You've learned to say no. You've learned to prioritize. You've learned that staying busy isn't the same thing as being effective, so you zero in on the handful of things that actually matter, and you execute them properly. When distractions show up, and they will, you don't get swept off course. You pause. You assess. You decide if it's actually worth your attention. Most of the time it isn't, so you let it pass and return to your work. People start noticing something's different about you. You seem steadier, less reactive. You stay out of drama, stay out of gossip, stop wasting energy defending yourself to people who are never going to listen anyway. And because you're not talking constantly, when you do speak, people actually pay attention. Your words carry weight because they're deliberate, considered, and backed by results instead of just intention. You stop seeking approval because you're validating yourself through what you actually produce. You're building things, finishing things, moving forward, and the proof is undeniable. Not to anyone else, but to you. Your relationships improve, not because you're trying harder, but because you're actually present. When you're with someone, you're really with them. Not distracted, not half listening while rehearsing your reply in your head. Fully there. And people feel that. They feel seen, they feel valued, and they respond to it in kind. Your goals sharpen because you're no longer diluting them with noise or losing steam by announcing them too soon. You work on them quietly, and when the moment is right, the results make the case for themselves. You get your time back. Hours that used to vanish into scrolling, arguing, and explaining are now yours again. You spend them reading, thinking, creating, resting, growing. You feel more in control because you genuinely are. Not of everything. Stoicism never promised you that, but of the things that actually matter. Your mind, your actions, your responses. Marcus Aurelius told himself to stay anchored to the present, and now you know exactly what he meant. The past is finished. The future is unwritten. This moment right now is the only one that's actually yours. Give it your full attention, and you stop living in anxiety and start living in flow. You become the kind of person who finishes what they start, who follows through without needing outside pressure to do the right thing, because being aligned with yourself is enough. You stop measuring yourself against other people, because you're no longer running their race. You're not performing for spectators. You're building the life you actually want, not the one everyone else expects of you. And here's the part worth remembering. This shift doesn't take years. It begins the instant you make the choice, the instant you decide to turn inward and stay quiet. You'll feel it right away, a sense of calm, a sense of strength, a sense of direction. And as you keep practicing it, day after day, that feeling compounds. Week by week, you get more disciplined, more focused, more clear. The noise doesn't vanish. The world stays loud. People will keep demanding things of you. Distractions will keep showing up. But you're no longer at their mercy. You've stopped being reactive. You've become responsive, intentional, self-governed. This is the transformation the Stoics were describing all along, not some dramatic reinvention, but a quiet, steady shift in how you move through the world. You don't need to announce it. You don't need to prove it to anyone. You just live it. And that's when everything actually changes. Not someday. Not once conditions are perfect. Not once you've got it all figured out. Right now. Because the habit that changes everything was never waiting somewhere off in the future. It's available to you in this exact moment. All you have to do is choose it. For the next 7 days, practice this. Turn inward. Stay quiet. Don't announce your plans. Don't react on impulse. Don't go chasing approval. Just move quietly, deliberately, with your attention turned toward yourself instead of outward. Watch what happens. Watch your clarity sharpen. Watch your energy come back. Watch your results start to shift. The Stoics never needed ideal circumstances to master themselves. Neither do you. You already have everything required. The power was always inside you. You just have to stop giving it away. Turn inward, stay quiet. Let your work speak for you. And remember, the moment you decide to change is the moment the shift begins. That moment is now. Choose it. If you're ready to reclaim your focus and quiet the noise, drop a comment below. I choose stillness. And if this resonated, subscribe for more. This is only the beginning. Stay quiet, stay sovereign.